Hi everybody, it's Dale Hanks with Coldwell Banker Real Estate in Murrysville, Pennsylvania. This is my old dog Hattie, and I think in her 13 years there probably hasn't been a day where she wasn't happy. Which brings me to what I wanted to talk to you about. Have you ever heard the old saying, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? It seems like more and more I'm dealing with people who are willing to stand on the principle of being right and are willing to sacrifice their peace and their happiness for it. Let me give you an example. I just recently had a transaction where the seller had their home listed and we got an offer from a buyer, and as with most offers these days, the offer came in a little bit lower in price than what the sellers would have liked. So through some negotiations we were able to get the buyer and seller to agree on a price. However, that price was contingent upon the buyer having a home inspection. Well, that inspection went pretty well, except for a minor issue that came up that was going to require about a $500 repair. Well, when the buyer asked the seller to go ahead and make those repairs, the seller became rather indignant, and this is where it all went south on both parties' need to be right. The seller said, "We're not going to make the repairs. We've lived here for 20 years and it's been fine for us." And the buyer said, "Well, we think you should make the repairs because it's your responsibility." The seller said, "Well, we already conceded in the price. We're not going to give the house away." And the buyer said, "Well, if you're not going to make the repairs, then we're going to walk away." And ultimately, the deal fell apart for $500, and both parties need to be right. So bottom line, what was lost? Well, the buyers ended up losing their dream house in the perfect location. The sellers ended up losing a buyer, and their house stayed on the market for another 2.5 months, which cost them dearly in more mortgage payments, utility costs, and taxes, nearly 4 times more than the cost of the $500 repair. So with just a little willingness to not be right and see the other person as wrong, both parties could have walked away happy. So don't you think that's a little bit about what's going on in society today? I think if we all just had a little more willingness to see things a little bit differently, I think it would contribute a lot more to our peace and happiness. So that's my thought for today. In real estate, as in life, just ask yourself, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? If you have any questions or comments on today's thought, please feel free to contact me through my website at www.dalehanks.com. Thanks everybody, and have a great weekend.